As a district administrator, a big part of your role is going to be selecting the settings that are in place for the schools across your district. To manage these settings, go down here to School Management at the left-hand side of your screen. Up here, you'll see a bunch of tabs that are going to stand for the settings that you can adjust. Let's start over here at the beginning with the Schools tab. Here, we're going to be able to select all or multiple schools, or just a single school. As you can see by the options on the right, we're going to be able to view the classrooms, staff, students. We can reset the schools for a new year, clear the rosters, or delete the schools. Please note that clearing the roster does actually delete your students, so it may be a good idea to consider that before you go ahead and click that button. It's also a good idea to make sure that when you reset the school for the new year, you're doing this for all the schools that you want to reset. If you're not going to roster with an outside system such as Clever or ClassLink, you can add schools into the program by coming down here to the little green plus button. Now over here in the Classrooms tab, we've got kind of a similar thing going on. You can also select all, multiple, or just a single classroom to view, edit, delete options, or to clear the classroom roster. Either way, you can come down here still and add classes to your school if you're not rostering with another system. Over here in the time settings, it's really important to set these. This is where you're going to choose which time zone that your district is working in, and it's also going to be able to make it to where you're able to set your school hours. This is cool because this allows you to determine when students are working in these hours, then it's schoolwork, but when they're working outside of these, then it's homework. Coming down here to the school year duration, we can set the current year to make sure that this is the data that we're seeing in reports. If you've got last year over here, you may be seeing last year's reports. So it's really, really important to set your school year. Coming over here to permissions, we find that we're able to adjust who can do what in your program. If you've got a teacher who needs the certain student's words per minute and accuracy to be just a little bit lower, that teacher will be able to set that given that you have the student accommodations ability set to where district admins such as yourself, school admins, and teachers can set those too. Coming over here to grade settings, this is where we're going to decide what games, which curriculums, which other things that a student who comes into your district at that grade level is going to get. If we've got a new third grader coming in, we see that he's going to get all of these curriculums, all of these games, and how he earns them. And he can also skip his placement test if that's something that your district's doing. Skip the mouse lessons if perhaps he's working on an iPad, or if your certain grades are working on iPads in the K2, or if they want to bypass the experience points. Coming up here to the Gradebook, this is where you're going to be able to set your grading system. Now, we're going to see that you can set the accuracy minimum, words per minute, in order to earn an A+. The cool thing is this doesn't have to be a letter. This can be a number, this can be an emoji, this can be any kind of grading criteria that you select. The point is that this is how you select what your students earn as a grade. Over here in the target settings, here's where you select the grade standard for a certain grade. Now, over here we're going to see that this is how much words per minute and accuracy a student has to earn in order to earn 3 stars, 2 stars, or 1 stars. The proficiency requirements are set in place in that we recommend that they require at least 2 stars to move on at standard proficiency. This keeps your students working at grade level. Coming up here to the grade level scheduled tests, this is where you're going to be able to view the progress of, create, or delete scheduled tests that you make throughout the grade. What scheduled tests are tests that you can essentially design. You can use a template that already exists, or you can create your own. Now the fun one is District Portal over here. Here's where you get to change how the website that your students and staff log into. You can add a fun little picture, you can add your district over here, you can adjust your address, and you can even change the colors. The coolest thing about this, however, is the login options and the sign-up options. Here's where you're going to be able to allow single sign-on, or you can let your students and teachers enroll themselves so you don't have to add them. So this is an overview of the settings that you can adjust for your district. If you have any more questions, you can just come right back up to here to your dashboard and go to the Solution Center. We've got a bunch of resources that you can go over in order to ensure that you have the best typing experience possible. We hope that you have fun with Typing Agent and have a great day.